what have I gotten myself into here? Anyway, what we're looking at today is, it's Saturday. It's early in the morning. It's gonna be like 90 later today, so it's about 8:20 in the morning, 8:30. Anyway, Rick is slated to help me weld this in tomorrow, and so I thought I'd get a jump on things because 2/3 of this battle is going to be measuring and cutting this old axle out, and that's something I can do on my own. One of the most important things in this project, there's a lot of important things in this project, but replacing this axle, since it's welded in, I don't have a go-by, and so I'm going to mark the trailer frame in a variety of ways to get this done. Obviously, the first step in this little arrangement is going to be me getting the trailer back off the ground. So to that end, I have a couple jack stands because we want to be safe, right? I'll be supporting it from some pads on the rear of the frame and then the trailer jack on the front of the frame. Additionally, you may notice I've got a couple grinders here. These guys have the guards removed. Unlike everybody else on YouTube that poo-poos safety, that's not really my game. However, the area I'll be cutting in behind that tire is very tight. It's tight between in fact, we may wind up removing the brake drum and the backing plate to that trailer axle. To that end, I have modified my grinders purposely to not have a guard on them. Getting back to the safety portion, however, what I have here is my handy dandy safety glasses with bifocals for people with ancient eyes built into them. I also have gloves, and I have ear pro, because as you age, you understand that these things, you know, I don't want to go through life without an eye or a finger or hearing, so we'll have those. Over here, I have a variety of measurements and levels. Obviously, torpedo level, which will be useful. My hope is marking up the frame will be made more easy by using this carpenter's square with a level built in, because it's important that I get my line for this situation perfect. So I'll be using this guy. Failing that, I have the good old carpenter's level, so we may be using that. I haven't decided yet. Marking the frame, it's an interesting thing, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I do know where the frame mounts, the trailer axle mounts to the bottom of the frame. I will be making a mark there. However, in preparation for welding, we're going to be doing some grinding and that sort of thing. So I want to make sure that I also get an offset mark. And so I'm going to go 6 inches forward of the axle on the frame and make another reference mark. To do that, I have multiple different ways of accomplishing the same thing. I have my silver Sharpie, because of course the trailer frame is black. That works pretty well. I also have this, and you may not be familiar with this, but it's basically, any fabricator in the world will know exactly what this is. It's for marking steel. It is soapstone. So that'll work good. Have another ruler, have a tape measure, and when all else fails, my famous Craftsman chisel / pry bar could become a scribing instrument in this. Heaven forbid I actually, use it as a screwdriver. So with that, I think I am ready to start jacking up the trailer, and I will spare you that. Next time you see this, I'm probably gonna have her up in the air. I'll probably get the current set up. In fact, thank you for reminding me, but I'm going to take some measurements on that guy, just maybe from the top of the tire to the inside of the fender well and front and back, just to see how close we can get. And so the objective today is to get that axle completely removed and maybe get the other one up in place. And for that, I'll have to record a whole nother thing, because that's a different set of tools for the actual welding part of it. But anyway, I think I've got the things I need here right now to get this removed. And if I don't, you'll find out here in a few minutes. But let me get this guy up in the air. And again, welcome. I'm very, very, very concerned about this project, because fit and finish, detail, precision are not exactly my middle names. I create marginal content if you've watched any other videos. So I'm going to try to take my time and really get this precision fit, because otherwise the trailer is going to go down the road kind of sideways. And I think we can all agree that that's not desirable. So with that, let me cut you guys off and get this up in the air. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're looking for how to replace your welded in trailer axle. If you have a bolted in trailer axle, this process is much easier. You don't need a grinder. You just need a wrench or wrenches, but that's not part of our program here. So anywho's, I'm gonna get this guy jacked up, follow along. Let's get a wheel off there, huh? How about I throw on some gloves? Since last time I worked on this trailer, I cut my hand pretty good. We'll see if my antique rattle gun will take these off. I've done some disassembly, I'll show you here on the second in the trailer. But this is kind of what we're looking at, which is obviously we've got a torsion arm here, which rotates on the rubber bushings in the square tube here. And then we have the mount for the new frame mount that the axle bolts to. What I'm dealing with is on the old axle, this torsion bar is clear up here, and so I can't access these welds with my grinding wheel. So let's go take a look at what I'm up against here, because I think you'll be able to see. As you can see, what I got here is the torsion arm on the old axle is like way up here, and these welds, I don't even know if you guys can see this, but there's welds. This is the trailer frame, obviously. And I've got weld there, and I've got weld back here. And so getting in here is gonna be a little difficult, I guess. I guess we can get in there, but I need some gloves and maybe some hearing protection, and then we'll get off to the races. In fact, my gloves and Air Pro are right over here. Oh, great, and I just got grease all over myself. That was not a good idea. Okay, so what we got here is we've got the trailer frame, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but right here is one of those welds I was referring to. This is the frame of the axle, and then we have the frame of the trailer. This is a little 1x onto the bottom of the boxed trailer here. You can see they just stitched it here in a variety of locations, but that's what we're going to be cutting. This is the end of the deal there, and so what I'm hoping is that we can take our little square here, and we will get it right to the edge of that front part of that, where that mounts up. Not very organized, sorry. And we will put a line right there, so we have a good reference. To that. Now what I was talking about is if this gets scrubbed off for some reason and it, you know, that mark gets wiped out, what we're going to do now is I'm going to take and go 6 inches off the front of that. Oh, that's 5. You help somebody put my reading glasses on my face here. All right, so this mark is going to be 6 inches. You guys will remind me from the front of that mount. So we shouldn't be grinding up here at all. And so this will be our backup reference point. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's right there. And now I think we're ready to grind this side off. So I thought I'd do a quick update. It's been 5 hours since I filmed. This is one of these Gilligan Islands projects where you think it's going to be not easy, but fairly straightforward. If you can see up here, I've had to completely beat this mount apart and cut it off in sections. And so no, I don't think you should do this yourself. In fact, nobody should do this. But here we are. I got a brand new axle. I got to get her installed. So I'm going to keep working away at this. It'll all turn out eventually. It's just way, way, way more effort than what I wanted to do. And I can't imagine what they would cost to do this. The part of the problem is, Rick, I talked to him this morning, and so this right here that I'm touching right there, that's a gas line. This little plastic pipe here, that's the sewer line. And so as you can see, the axle mount's up here. It's out of my view, but you got a gas line and a sewer line. So that really inhibits your ability to cut. I'm hoping that side over there, I just got a gas line. But yeah, this would definitely be ideally be a torch it apart type scenario. But I tell you guys what, we got a couple % left on the battery in this camera. Set you guys up and you can kind of see what I'm up to. I hope is I'm just knocking this strap out of here. You can see I put a little cut there, and this is really, really slow going. And I'm just cold chiseling and just kind of peeling that weld back. And what I'm trying not to do in my efforts here is get into this, which you can see I've kind of sawed in there a little bit. Not a huge deal. The new mount is actually going to plate this bottom here, so I'm not that worried about it, but it's not ideal. Certainly wasn't what I wanted to do, but again, here we are using 19th century technology, and I still got another day of this at least. This is yeah, more work than I was planning on. Like I said, this is just the first side, although this is the hard side because it does have all the plumbing. Again, all I got on the other side's a gas line. I think I've got some ideas on how to buzz that out. Rick just left. Oh my gosh, I am worked. It's like 4 in the afternoon. This has been a long, long day. But as you can see, she's free. I still got some more grinding to do to, once the axle's out, to clean that frame up, and we'll go around to the other side and I'll show you kind of what we worked out. Rick came over and showed me a trick, and hopefully this next one won't take us the entire day. As you can see, maybe you guys can see these marks, but my mark's still there, so we're good. Still got the other mark up there on the frame for the axle placement. We're looking at the other axle. I bet we get a 6-inch lift over what we've had on this trailer, so that'll be pretty neat. Anywho's, let me shut this down. I'll take you guys to the other side. I don't know how much gas I still got in the tank, but I need to do some grinding on the other side, so we'll get after that. As you can see, we had a little bit of a seal failure in the back of this brake. So probably a good thing we're changing her out with new stuff. And oh gosh, what do we got here? Well, if you're a keen observer, you'll note that we don't have this piece. So up until recently, this was right there, and it's not anymore. So we'll be able to access the weld to grind this out, hopefully, much more simply than what we did yesterday. So, or today. I'm already, like I said, tore up from today. Be an Advil night for sure. But anywho's, as always, this is your home for marginal content. I make mistakes so you don't have to. Do I think this is something you should do at home? If you're pretty dang handy, this would be a decent project. But man, if you don't have the right tools and the skills, as I don't, I have a friend with skills, so think long and hard. I'm sure it would be expensive to change it, or if you're looking to buy a Casita, this is what it takes to change the axle. It ain't fun, and that I ain't lying. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, here we are again. So a few things that I forgot to show you yesterday. Well, first of all, let's say yesterday went wrong, like severely wrong. I figured it'd take me about 4 hours to take off that axle. It was going to be 100 degrees yesterday, and I worked about 8 until 4:30, 5 o'clock with cleanup. So this is a big job. Unless you have experience with cutting tools and that sort of thing, you know, meaning grinders, cut off wheels, Sawzall in my case, and obviously I didn't really know what I was doing on the first one, so I had to hack pieces apart. And that's the passenger side's much harder because on the inside of the frame rail is some plumbing up against where you need to cut. So good luck. This is a big job. There's no two ways about it. Breaking the welds or cutting the welds on this aren't as straightforward as just zip, zip, zip. You have to do a lot of elbow grease. The other thing I added to the toolkit was one of these and one of these, which is a cold chisel and a light sledge. So I would get the weld down to where I could basically break it. But you're going to need a cold chisel for sure. The other thing I added that I mentioned before is one of these guys. In my case, a vintage 1990s Sawzall with multiple blades. I did wind up cutting the mounting frame to this trailer or axle is not sheet metal. It's heavier gauge than sheet metal, but it's probably an 1/8 inch thick. You'll need this to cut things, and I did wind up cutting some welds yesterday in that stuff, but nothing irrevocable. I've got the other side of the axle, if you remember from, I think I videoed some last night. I was really tired, but anyway, that side's broke free. It's still got a little bit of grinding to go, but to do the rest of the grinding I need to do, we need to get this freed up and get that axle out. I've already started on this axle. I don't think I videotaped the end of that, but I've got one of the 3 or 4 welds cut that I need to, so we've probably got an hour's worth of work doing grinding stuff on this axle, and then hopefully the welding part, once I get the surface prepped and welded up, or the welding part of it's not going to take that long. Obviously hooking up the brakes, that's 4 connectors, so that's not that big a deal. So let's see what we get up to. Anyway, I made a discovery on my old grinder which would have helped me immensely. So I went and bought 4.5 inch discs, and they don't fit my 4-inch grinder.
Okay.
So they fit my Ryobi cordless one, but with the battery on the handle, you can't get it into spaces. But on my little grinder, I found out this morning as I was looking through my pile of parts that it actually has a little shimmy doodobber.
So they will work.
Yeah. So it's
okay, good.
That's what I'm doing. And yeah, since I have a whole 2 packs of these, or a pack of these ones,
and endless electricity.
Yeah. And granted, I've got the little battery on that, which makes it more usable.
Right,
but she only goes a little ways.
Yeah.
Reasons to not expect more.
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe a little bit of cutting.
Yeah, I guess she was close. Yeah, I'll bring the death wheel over here and polish this off real quick, and then we'll get the flappy disc out and
Clean her up.
Yeah.
Take off your index marks and then try and guess it.
Yeah. Well, I got a tape measure.
Yeah, okay.
We're really crazy. We could put that on a piece of cardboard too before we start sliding.
Or we could just put it on a dolly. Nah, the dolly had...
Yeah, let's not get crazy. Come on.
Yeah. We don't want to get crazy.
No.
Okay.
We don't want to have your loyal viewers think all of a sudden we've like, what? When did they go to the high rent district?
That wasn't nearly long enough. Oh well.
Well, it's also wrapped around your light.
Yeah, the light's sacrificial.
Well, all right.
Let me all right. Ready? Oh, that worked. Right?
Yep. Better to look at them a couple of times.
Yeah.
Nope, they look good to me.
Okay, we're good.
So we'll spot that side, a couple places on the outside.
Yeah.
Then take the jack out, bring it over here, do the same thing with this one, spot it a couple places on the outside.
Take all the jacks off.
Yep, take all the jacks off, and then weld up the inside, weld up the outside.
We're gonna go ahead and do some tack welding.
Well, that should keep it in place.
Yeah, what do we got there? Oh, okay.
Well, we need that over there.
Yep. And these are just tack welds, correct?
Yeah.
We're not.
Nope, we're not going to count on those for long.
Yeah. What do we got here? Well,
They look a lot like welds.
yep, they appear to be welds. I think we're gonna go with it.
No, it's not.
It's gonna stay.
Yeah.
But
Yep, I'm not worried about that.
nothing to do but a little bit of
Wiring.
wiring and some paint, and I think we're gonna be off to the races,
Yeah.
which will be good.
And then pick the stinger that you need.
Yeah, because she's gonna be a little taller than before.
Yeah.
I may even clean the inside of that fender well up a little bit. Get crazy.
No, man.
It'll just get dirty again, I know.
It just
I do appreciate all the help and the advice and all that stuff. Let me help you grab up your stuff. Are you putting the welder in the truck?
yeah. Go in there one way or another, and
Hold on for a second.
yeah, you gotta record the escape.
Yeah. Well, you did the hard parts.
Yeah.
You did the hard parts.
I don't know. As hot as it's been these 2 days, we should have done it on a rainy weekend.
Yeah, we should have, in retrospect.
Maybe we could
Oh,
complain
well.
about something else instead.
Well, it's in now, for
Yeah.
better or worse.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's,
Just fogging it in there. As you can see, I'm pretty much a professional at this. Get up here. Like I said, it ain't perfect. It's marginal, but it's definitely gonna work. Anyway, you guys get the idea. Let me get back to work. But August 2025, 143 JKRD. More marginal content coming from right here in Mount Hood. Put some anti-seize in the lug nuts. Brakes are all wired up. Obviously it's the right lug pattern. Whoopsie. She got away from me. My lug wrench socket. All right, on to the other side. Man, look at that gap. Holy smokes. She's definitely going to ride higher. 95 or 100 out today, so being out in the direct sunlight's not ideal. But got my thread lubricant here. We'll put a little, oh, I'll catch that later. Just throwing a little lube on here, getting it all over the hub. My anti-seizing. It's freaking hot. And I get lucky 2 times in a row. Yeah. Perfect. I'll take it. How about you guys? I'll take that. Oh my gosh, it is so warm out here, especially out in the direct sunlight. One thing you can be guaranteed of here in Oregon, it'll be too hot or too cold. I'm just grousing. Oh. Yeah, I like to throw a little anti-seize on these lug studs, because heaven only knows when I'm gonna get these guys back on. Fun fact, you should never, I try never to put the lug nuts on. Well, I never do. Put the lug nuts on with my impact. I always try to get a few threads so I know she's freewheeling. Yep. Got my juice there. Might have overdid it on the anti-seize. I might have to get me a towel and clean this up. Can't have her. Got a new axle. Got to sheesh this thing up. Oh. Well, she's there in the background as I just shot a couple shots of the ride height. She's on her own feet now, and I think I took a measurement. It was 2.5 or 3.5 inches from the top of the tire to the top of the fender well beforehand, and now we're a good, no, it's like, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches now. The net is, I'm sorry, I'm exhausted. It's day 2, and I'm 6 hours into day 2. It's been a couple 100-degree days here, but she's done. I really wish to thank my new friend Mike, who sold me this Lippert axle, and all the advice he gave me. It was instrumental in kind of facilitating this whole project. Also, I'd like to thank Rick, who came over very generously, brought his wire feed, which, I mean, we basically have the same welder, but he brought his over and agreed to weld it, and then got roped into doing some other stuff because I had failed to completely grind out that axle. I would say it's doable, but man, you better have some time and some tools to get this done. If you have an older Casita like this, and if you're looking at buying a Casita, I love this trailer. I mean, it works really great for us, and now it's set up properly. So should I ever have to replace the axle, I will be able to bolt and unbolt it. But man, buyer beware. If you're buying an old Casita, Scamp, any of those, and they have welded that torsion beam axle in, it's a bear to get out. There's a bunch of stuff in the way, and you know, I have grinders, I have sawzalls, I have, you know, the normal, short of a cutting torch or a plasma cutter, which would have made this much easier, but frankly, they're both, at least the torches are probably overkill and you could burn your trailer down. But anyway, she's complete, she's greased up. Tomorrow we're going to get ready for a new adventure, and we're headed to Eastern Oregon tomorrow for its break-in run. Well, you'll have to tune into future videos and we'll see how this axle goes. I did pre-grease the bearings even though they're brand new, so I shot some more grease in there. Hopefully that'll help. And we'll see. It's a brand new axle. I can tell you now that my old axle did not flex at all when I was lifting it and lowering the trailer. And this one I can already tell the suspension is working on it. So yay for us. Anyway, if you've sat through this entire video, I hope you appreciate the effort that went on by myself and several other people in not only making it, but this has been an odyssey. And again, I wouldn't do this again. If I was buying another fiberglass trailer, and in the future we may, and I found the axles were welded in, it'll be one thing I check. Probably the number one thing, honestly, because, you know, a 20-year-old trailer, you can count on replacing the axle, but it is, it's not something I'm ever going to do again, honestly. This was painful, and by the time I clean up, it'll be 16 hours total labor in this for myself, plus probably another 4.5 for Rick, and that's a lot of labor. If you need your axle replaced and it's a weld in, my advice is take it to somebody. I don't know what to tell you. This has been an experience, and I'm not soon to repeat it, but anyway. It is a high note. We're leaving tomorrow on a short, quick trip to the Wallowas, and then we'll be back. But anyway, look for some cool Eastern Oregon content and some trailer content. Maybe I'll film it driving down a road or something. Anyway, keeping it marginal here on Mount Hood, and this was your marginal Lippert axle install. I hope you have a great day, and we'll probably be chatting again soon. Anyway, like I said, I'm just freaking exhausted. I don't even know what to say to keep it upbeat. This was a real butt kicker for me, but maybe you'll have better luck. You're probably smarter than me, right? Anyway, we'll see you soon. Honey,
What?
I need you to come out immediately.